The last quarter hasn't been very rosy for Samsung, as the analysts say. It lost more than 1.5 billion US dollars, mainly owing to the poor smartphone sales, the flagship smartphones mainly. Galaxy S5, anyone? However, the analysts knew, and even Samsung knows, that the year hasn't yet ended because they still have their ace up the sleeve, the Galaxy Note 4. We do not have the Galaxy Note 4 sales figure just about yet, but I think the picture can only get better. Note 4 packs in some real professional and great advancement features over the Note 3 and even over the other flagship Samsung devices, and even compared to some of the other devices. But how they come along together to make it a great experience to the user is the biggest question. The Note series is the official reigning king of the phablets. Will it still stay so? Let's find out. So the Galaxy Note 4 comes in a very compact box. It's 100% recyclable paper. It has lots of stickers that you need to cut before you be able to open the box. It's quite heavy, quite hard cardboard box. And once you open the box, on top you'd have the Galaxy Note 4, the device. It's a brilliant looking device. We'll come back to the device just in a bit. Once you go still deeper inside the box, you will find a manual which will have the warranty cards and your quick start guide and some of the other informations. And then you would have your 2 ampere wall charger, your earphones, the noise cancelling premium type earphones that contains your volume rocker as well as mic and call control button. Apart from that, you would also have the micro USB 2.0 data cable. You have extra 3 pairs or 2 pairs of earbuds, I forgot. And then you also have the extra pins for your S Pen. The Galaxy Note 4 isn't radically different in terms of design and build quality than the Galaxy Note 3, which is a good thing because we really love the Galaxy Note 3's design and build quality despite of being an all plastic body.
The look of the Galaxy Note 4 does not change radically from the Note 3. However, it now sports a metal frame on the side, just like the Galaxy Alpha. So this becomes the second Galaxy device from Samsung to have a metal frame, although it's not entirely a metal body, mind you, because on the back, just like the Note 3, you have the same fox leather cover. However, this now looks slightly better and slightly closer to the actual leather than the Note 3 was. The Note 3 actually feels that it's not exactly leather, plastic. This one now feels slightly more leather thing. Also, the stitches here is gone out here. See, it's now plain. I really like the stitches on the Note 3, by the way, but apart from that, nothing much really changes. Even if you see out here, our Note 3 is really old. You see the layout did not change much, the home screen button and all those stuff. And even on the side, the Note 4 is slightly bigger than the Note 3 actually. But the button layouts are also almost similar. On the left side you have that volume rocker, and then one of the biggest difference between the Note 4 and the Note 3, the Note 4 did away with the very popular and one of my personal favorite, the USB 3.0 port, and put the same old slow USB 2.0 port. Apart from that, you have dual mics out there, the S Pen slot again the same. The speaker slot also moved to the back on the Note 4, another bad thing compared to the Note 3. Power button on top, you have the same IR blaster and secondary noise cancelling mic and 3.5mm jack. The back is almost the same except that it has the heart rate monitor now. So 5.7-inch display is protected by Gorilla Glass, the Super AMOLED screen, QHD 2560 by 1440 pixels. Brilliant, exquisite display with the earpiece on top, and it also has this horizontal line kind of a texture. Note 3 was pretty much plain, or I would say it sports more like a brushed metal kind of a look, the Note 3. If you look, I don't think you'll be able to see here. Anyway, so this has horizontal lines, you can see up there, which is Well, not necessarily for better, but it's different from the Note 3 anyway. So earpiece, your LED notification light and sensors and stuff, and you have the 3.7 MP f by 1.9 front camera, which actually records at 2K. Now that's crazy for a front camera. You have the very familiar home button and your back and the task switcher button out there. Behind, I told you that Fox leather cover supports 4G. Now I would have liked the speaker to be somewhere else, maybe on the side here. Even though you have this bump on the speaker grill, it might just obstruct the sound output. You'll see that. And the S Pen actually looks slightly better than the one on the Note 3, but not much better. It now has texture, while the Note 3 was more plain. And then there, see, it's not much difference out there, but the tip of the Note 4 I find is very slightly, might be just thinner, it might just be an illusion, but overall it's not much of a departure, not a very significant departure on the Note 4. However, the pressure points are different. They're much more precise, and they feel amazing, just like writing on, almost just like writing on paper. We'll come back to that when we demo the S Pen. Now once you open this, the back cover is as thin as ever, and then you have 3220 mAh battery, your micro SD card slot out here, and the micro SIM card slot. This micro SD card slot now supports cards of up to 128 GB, unlike the Note 3, which supports up to 64 GB. The Note 4 comes with 32 GB internal storage. The Note 3, you got options. So overall, as I told you before, the Note 4 does not deviate much from the Note 3 in terms of design and build quality, which is a good thing. Now, again, one of the controversy that was born out of the band gate of iPhone 6 Plus was the gap gate. Now, what that means is that if you look very closely out here, you see there's a gap between the metal frame on the outside and the display, and which is actually uneven. So there is a gap more here, but if you see here, there's almost no gap. You see, there's almost no gap out here, but there is gap out here and out here. So this is really uneven, and I just think they have put the display and the metal frame separately, one after another, and that's why placing the display might have got little here and there. I don't know how they make it anyway. But this is uneven, and this looks slightly odd and takes some mark away from design. The metal frame is also just kind of elevated from the display, but that Samsung says is to protect the display in case you drop the phone head on, just flat.
Now, a lot of new flagship comes with the QHD display resolution that is 2560 by 1440 pixels. Just come to think of it, that's kind of a crazy resolution for such a small display. Even your smart TVs, 40-inch smart TVs do not have those kind of display. They only have like Full HD. Now they have 4K displays, but this 2560 by 1440 2K display on such a small display resolution, on such a small display like a 5.5 inch or 6 inch display is really crazy. But the thing is that we've seen this QHD resolution, but mostly on LCD glass. They look great, they look very crisp, but a Super AMOLED screen is something totally different. First of all, it's an LED screen, remember, so your blacks are gonna be very dark, and also you're gonna save on battery if your screen is dark enough on most of the time while you're using it. Let's say, for example, the difference comes in where, let's say, your screen is, if your screen has black areas, for example, you're majorly watching a movie where you have dark scenes, or you have a wallpaper which is almost 50%, more than 50% black, then in those black areas the LEDs do not need to be switched on, they are off. So they save on your battery life, unlike an LCD screen where still those diodes will have to emit black colors basically. So it's still giving out a color, still using the battery, but not the LED screen. And that's why LED screens are great. And apart from that, they also have slightly better sunlight legibility, although the difference is being really narrow these days. Plus, they also are slightly less reflective. On the flip side, however, the Super AMOLED screens, mainly most of them, and including the one on the Galaxy Note 4, actually has a pentile pixel arrangement, which is not quite as crisp or as detailed as the sRGB format that you see on the typical LCD IPS glasses. Having said that, you would see in our display review right now that the Galaxy Note 4's display is as crisp as it can get, mainly because although despite of being a pentile arrangement of pixels, because there's such high amount of resolution, it almost nullifies the negative of a pentile display.
5.7-inch QHD display is brilliant, over 500 ppi of color density. It's a gorgeous screen. It's a Super AMOLED. Anyway, so if you even look closely, even if you look at from the distance where your eyelashes touches the screen, you won't be able to see any pixelation. It's a gorgeous, one of the best displays in the world, and the viewing angles are mind-blowing. You can see first of all, and it also looks much more natural than the one on the Note 3. The one on the Note 3 used to bump up the saturation and hue those are mainly for the movies and images to come alive, the colors to pop out and stuff. This one is much more natural. I, as a photographer or as an artist, like more natural color. Your preference might be different, but you see the viewing angle. Oh my god, that's like, that blows even the iPhone 6 Plus out of the window. In fact, any LCD, any IPS screen, for example, this is just unmatched, baby. This is way too good. You see, even from there, this is way too good. This display is one of the best displays in the world right now. Quite possibly the best display in the world right now, actually.
There weren't much negative about the pentile displays anyway. People just blew it out. Now we come to probably the biggest advancement in the Galaxy Note 4, the user interface experience. Now we found the TouchWiz and Android 4.4 marriage on the Galaxy Note 4 to be absolutely smooth and almost seamless to use, even upon heavy usage with a lot of background apps and a lot of widgets on the home screens and all stuff. For once, I almost feel like I'm using an iPhone 6 Plus.
The Galaxy Note 4 is powered by Android KitKat 4.4, so the latest released version, and you have the brand new TouchWiz UI on top. It is brand new unlock, animation as well. Now, this TouchWiz UI is actually lighter than the previous one on the Note 3 in terms of bloatware and other stuff. So it, motions, and let's say it did away with the air view features and some of the other motion feature. Also, it did away with most of the bloatware, so that this TouchWiz becomes much lighter on the stock ROM. I love the unlock effect out here. So you also do not have the widgets and other stuffs out here. You can simply unlock to get to the screen. You, however, has the S health, your pedometers reading, and then the similar camera shortcut keys. You can have the notification come down over the unlock screen as well. When you go to the home screen, it's almost usual affair. You can add and delete home screens from there. You can have your widgets, and then you also have a home screen setting. I'll just come back to that just in a bit. So now, instead of My Magazine, you have Flipboard docked on the left side, and then you have your usual notification bar with S Finder and Quick Connect, and then your quick function toggle bar. You can straight away go to the full settings. Right from there, you can also go to the full function toggle bar. You can edit and sort them from here. You can also drag it with 2 fingers to get to the same menu. So long press on the home key would take you to Google Now. Double press would take you to S Voice, and then you have your task switcher out there. It's much like in tune with the Lollipop UI actually, But I absolutely love this design, much better than the earlier ones. And then your back button, usual. Now where you have the wallpapers and widgets out there, so you can add your widgets right from there. You can also have different transition effects. Now you have none or card stack or 3D rotation. There, see, you can see the demo out there. Will let it to be in the default. You can also do away with the flipboard briefing. So when you do that, you do not have the flipboard on the left side anymore. You see, and then you have your area of default Google Android apps, default Samsung in-house apps, although only the essential ones this time. But the number of third-party apps have considerably increased. So Samsung on one hand has reduced its own bloatware, but then increased the other third-party apps, like for example you can see Flipboard, and you also have Facebook's Messenger and Pages Manager. Now Messenger of course is forced if you use Facebook Messenger. This is essential, but who uses Pages Manager? How many of us has Page? Of course I have, because we have Nothing Wired fan page, but how many of us actually uses a Pages Manager? So that's kind of quite unnecessary for some people. And you have Instagram, all right, you have WhatsApp. So I mean, these are free, and if someone uses them, they can always go to the Play Store and download them for free. Why forcing them onto your users? So I don't know. All right, so you have the usual stuffs, and then we'll go to the settings, and you can have viewing as list view and tab view. So by default the Note 4 has it in the tab view. I always liked it in the tab view, even on the S5 and the later devices. These generally used to be in list view by default, but I always used to switch them to tab view. So you have data usage and sound and lock screen, S Pen, and then your connection settings. Supports all heck of connections that's available in the world right now. Does not support as many LTE bands as the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus does, but still considerable. And then it locks a multi-window S Pen feature, and some of the S Pen features out there. See, personalization, so you can go ahead and add lots and lots of accounts this time. You can also have LinkedIn account, for God's sake. You have your fingerprint finger scanner out here, where you can register 3 of your fingers. 4.4.4, and then about device. So that's about the settings. The dialer big enough, the usual dialer pairs, but they all kind of look slightly more polished out here. And one thing I've noticed is that the UI has become much faster and very easy to use, very fluidic compared to the one on the Note 3. You've seen the default browser show HTML5 scores, and then you have the usual settings and stuff. You can also compress your data and all those jazz, and then you can see the usual Samsung default keyboard. And then you have the 16 MP camera, and you see it's pretty fast really. Yeah, the front camera, it's a new front camera, 3.7 MB. It also has a very fast aperture of f by 1.9, and crazy as it may sound, it actually records 2K video. So if you go to the settings, you can see out here video size, it actually records 2K video. I would keep it to full HD, but now you do not have to press this button in order to take a picture. You can just go ahead and once you let this camera recognize your picture, just like that. There, see, you can just go ahead and you can tap the fingerprint scanner out here to take a picture. See, it just took a picture. Yeah, and just populate here somewhere. I think that was the picture. Anyway, so it's easier for you to now take the selfie, and you have HDR on or off right from there. And then you have some of the modes. You can also go and download some additional modes out there. picture quality under enough light is brilliant, excellent, even when you zoom in to 100%. And we love the saturation and hue on the pictures, and the color reproduction is very good and natural. Under low light you see noise, but not as much as on the Note 3. The Note 3's camera was quite good, but the Note 4 really builds on that camera, and it kind of checks the high ISO noise reduction really well. The same case with the videos, no fuzziness, no soft corners, but on the night time the details drops considerably. One good thing about the Note 3 and even on the Note 4 cameras are you can change the metering. So when you have at night, when you have only patches where you have light, you can use center weighted metering and keep those areas in center so that the exposure is actually well compensated. So overall, a brilliant camera, I would say.
We did not really expect the Galaxy Note 4 to squiver during our gameplay reviews, and it did not disappoint. Obviously, whatever games we threw in that, it played them perfectly. Check out the gameplay review. There was a very close fight in the benchmarks between the iPhone 6 Plus and the Galaxy Note 4, most of which the iPhone 6 Plus actually won. But again, as I told before multiple times, that the marriage of the software and the hardware is what gave the iPhone 6 Plus an edge during our benchmark tests. So now the $1,000,000 question: should you get the Galaxy Note 4? There are multiple answers as always. If you're a Note 3 user, if you're a Note 3 owner, you do not need to necessarily upgrade to Note 4, because as I told, the Note 4 is not a revolutionary upgrade, it's only an evolutionary upgrade. So it only builds upon the Note 3 to give you more modern features. If you have a Note 3, you might want to stick to that for another year or so that we get a Note 5 that supposedly have a 4K 6-inch phablet, and that should have a beast of the specs as well. If you're a Note 2 user and haven't upgraded to Note 3, definitely you should get the Note 4, because the Note 4 is a total overhaul of what the Note 2 was. If you have smaller screen, if you have liked the bigger screen on your friends' hands, then definitely the Note 4 makes sense. Compared to other Android phablets, the Note 4 is still, I think, the most powerful beast out there. The main competition the Note 4 will have and is facing is from the iPhone 6 Plus. And when you see the iPhone 6 Plus, Apple users have been stuck with a 4-inch screen for very long. So the moment they got a 5.5-inch screen, they will just hog onto it like eagles on rats. But the Note 4 user, the Note 4 and potential buyers, the Android users already have a slew of devices which are over 5 inches. So they aren't exactly as hungry as the iOS devotees. So that there you go, the less amount of desperation for such a great device as the Note 4. Now that could be considerable. If you're not the slightest bias towards either of the ecosystem, I think the Galaxy Note 4 has the slightest edge over the iPhone 6 Plus, mainly due to two reasons. Number one, you just have more to do with the Note 4 and the Android ecosystem in general. There are many customizations you can do, many things with the phone. And if, let's say, you have 2 hours to kill in the evening, you sit with your Note 4 and your iPhone 6 Plus, you'd have much more things to do on the Note 4 than on the iPhone 6 Plus. The second thing is that the new features that iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus bring in, the optical image stabilizations, the NFC, the online payment system, and many of the other things are very great and new as far as Apple is concerned, but Android has already been giving them for long, and Galaxy Note 4 almost stuffs all of those. The only part where the iPhone 6 Plus wins, and wins big, is the integration of the hardware and software, how good the user interface, the software plays there. But the Galaxy Note 4 really come close, like frighteningly close. The bad news for the Galaxy Note series is that although it's the reigning king of the phablet, the ones before the Note 4 never had to really use all of their powers to push the competition away, because no one really seriously could compete with the Galaxy Note series. The Note 4 probably had the toughest competition coming in the form of the iPhone 6 Plus, and the Note 4 will have to go on all guns blazing to defeat the iPhone 6 Plus. They are really at par, and it could be anyone's game on its day. If you like this video, please hit the like button, ask anything related to the Galaxy Note 4, and we'll try to answer them all. And please subscribe to our channel for more such awesome content in future. Ciao.